Good morning to everyone joining us. It is Wednesday, November. Oh, yeah, I need help with the date. November 18th. This is the On the Go Post Show. I tell you, all of the dates kind of like blend together right now. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Holly Strano, Austin Love, Maureen Kyle, and Dave Chudowski. We are the Go Morning Show team, as well as Jasmine Monroe. And today we want to talk with you about this new curfew that is going into effect tomorrow. That's Thursday, as the governor announced this yesterday, and it's going to affect tomorrow. The details of the curfew is to really help to slow the spread of COVID-19. And pretty much we are going to be under a 21-day curfew from the hours of 10 p.m. To 5 a.m. over that 3-week span. And what that means is during the restricted time, businesses will have to close and people are expected to be in their homes. So that's between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. But there are some exceptions. So it does not apply to people going to and from work. Thank God for us, because that's when we work overnight. Grocery stores, pharmacies, and restaurants with carryout. And then it doesn't apply to people also getting groceries, medicine, or medical care, and those getting takeout and delivery orders. So please let us know what you think about this curfew going into effect tomorrow for the next 21 days. You can put your perspective in the comment section. And Austin, this morning you were able to really hear from business owners and what they think about this, because remember, we were facing restaurants and bars potentially closing.
Yeah, so last Wednesday when Governor DeWine made his kind of address to Ohio, and one of his kind of key points, just kind of dropping a quick little bomb, being like, if numbers don't go down, restaurants, bars, gyms, they're all going to close. So the past, I've been in pretty good communication with a lot of restaurant owners over that time, and just talking to their wait staff and things like that. And there was a lot of anxiety the past few days, and a lot of running around, and of just what are next steps? What do we do if this happens? Fighting for it not to literally happen in some certain sense. So when the governors came out yesterday with this 10 p.m. curfew, I talked to Sam McNulty. He owns a lot of bars on West 25th in Ohio City and Cleveland, Market Garden, Barcento, Nano Brew, those restaurants all through that area, and has been in good communication with, a lot of other restaurant bar owners and things like that. So ultimately he was relieved, at the sense that we're the ones that are doing things the right way.
Hey, Austin, I'm not sure if everybody else, you're kind of, Austin, can you hear us?
Words as his argument.
Your internet is like slow.
The spread from the governor's health team.
Yeah, Austin, you're frozen there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something's going on with internet connection. So we'll disconnect and connect you back on. But Maureen,
all right.
There we go. We'll get to you. We'll get back to you in just a second. But Maureen, boy, we have other states kind of doing the same. But first, let me go back, and a lot of you are chiming in on our page. John says that the curfew is better than a shutdown. And then Sandra, how many people are actually going to let, MK let active between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. though? Sandra says that she doesn't have any anxiety. And Shayla Smith, that she's always commenting. Good morning, Shayla. Thanks for joining us every day. People will not listen, and businesses better start at 7 p.m. to get people out. And Maureen, we're not the only ones putting new restrictions in place.
No, and actually, when you look at the other states, our neighbors, this curfew isn't as strict as what some of the other states are doing. And so let's start with Pennsylvania, because they are doing stricter mask mandates. They are saying that if you are indoors at all, just inside a structure, your mask must be on. Even if you can stay more than 6 feet apart, they want your mask on. And then if you're traveling into the state, you have to have a negative COVID-19 test before coming in. So, I mean, that's in Pennsylvania. It's not a far drive to head there, and people have family coming in and out of there for possibly the Thanksgiving holiday. We know a lot of families have said, never mind, we'll do Zoom, we'll do it virtually. But then Michigan, I need my cheat sheet here for Michigan, because they are the most strict that we've seen going into effect pretty shortly here. So they are, all workers are going to have to work from home unless they absolutely cannot do their job from home. Indoor dining services, no longer allowed. They're allowing carry out. High school, college classes, all online, all remote. So organized sports are being shut down. This is, high school, college, not professional sports. When it comes to exercising, all indoor group classes aren't allowed. Casinos, movie theaters, stadiums, arenas, everybody's closed. So they are definitely more strict when it comes to what's happening in Michigan. And I've seen comments go both ways, everyone. I mean, I've seen people saying that here in Ohio, we need more stricter shutdown rules. And then I'm seeing people saying this isn't really going to do anything. So we'll have to pay attention to see, just over the next few days and weeks, what each state, how the numbers react to what they've put into place.
And big question from a number of you. It's as Charlotte said, Charlotte Hilton, she said, what is this curfew supposed to do? And it's supposed to really stop the spread of COVID-19, or at least slow it down. So he's calling it a slowdown, not a shutdown. And
I think if I can jump in too. So previously the bars were just not allowed to sell alcohol past 10 o'clock. So you could be in a restaurant or a bar until it closed, but they stopped selling alcohol at 10. So now these places have to close at 10. So that means they're sending people home. You can interpret it whichever way you want, if you think that's going to be effective or not.
Well, and also with that, Maureen, is that their hope with this curfew too, and kind of piggybacking, I've got a better connection here, hopefully.
You look great, Austin.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So do you, Danny. And so with this is that the argument that a lot of people were saying, especially bar owners, and even so Sam McNulty, owner of Market Garden, was kind of literally quoting the governor, saying that there's no science saying that the spread is happening. The large majority of the spread is happening in bars, restaurants, gyms. It's happening in these small gatherings, which are taking place outside of the bars, where people are leaving the bar and then they're going home, and then they're having these big after parties and small gatherings with friends and family. The governor has said that multiple times. And so their argument is, hey, it's not happening here. Why shut us down? So with the 10 p.m. curfew, and again, the ball, I think Governor DeWine is putting the ball in our court of being like, hey, we don't want to shut down. We don't want to take away business from anyone. We don't, and basically saying, these are the restrictions that we're putting, and now it's up to you for being responsible. Don't get in those gatherings. Take these 21 days seriously, or it's going to be worse. So people are asking, like, what is this going to do? What is this going to do? Well, what are you going to do? So these are times when everyone has to be responsible and not have these big parties. Keep these Thanksgiving gatherings slim. And it's not necessarily the government's not planning these parties, it's people. So that's my little
let me jump in here.
And that's, I think, the idea around the 10 p.m. curfew.
Yeah, let me jump in here and echo off what Austin's saying and kind of give you my opinion here. And again, this is not fact. This is just me connecting the dots, okay? Because that's what we like to do here, connect the dots. So I'm going to go back to my old background of sports. And when you would listen to coaches and players talk, they give you what's called coach speak. And you have to decipher what they're saying, because they're not going to come out and be honest with you 90% of the time. So when I listen to what they're saying here, besides businesses that have to close after 10, not a lot of people are really being affected by this. I don't think. Most people are sleeping. So the businesses and anyone who has an operation that is affected, I feel for them. But what they're basically saying here, in my opinion, is, hey, I'm giving you this out and this option right now. This is better than closing down. Governor DeWine saying, I'm not going to shut down right now. I'm not going to shut the state down. So for those people wondering how they're going to regulate this, I don't think their intention is to really regulate it necessarily. This is them saying, hey, follow the rules, do this, or this is going to happen, okay? If you don't do this, then you're going to go to your room. So that's how I'm deciphering this.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about what's happening in Akron too, though. I mean, they said police will get involved.
Yeah.
So, like, if they drive past your house party in Akron, you're going to have a $250 fine. So,
right, but I think someone has to alert them about it, though. They're not going to go door to door to enforce it, though.
No, I think people will be alerting. I do think that.
I mean, think of like if you see it in your neighborhood too. I mean,
sure.
I think they will notice if there's a whole bunch of cars at a house or something. I think apartment buildings, I wonder how they're going to do that. Maybe that's up to the landlords to, to shut things down. But I mean, the governor has said there will be consequences too. And this is, I agree. This is like unfairly on the businesses. This is totally up to people to follow the rules. And it's like a small step toward, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to crack down. And really, like Austin said, I mean, it's really up to everybody individually. What are you going to do to help stop this spread?
Holly, you wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, off of both Austin and Dave, and well, all of you really, I'll give the weather analogy of a watch and a warning. This is a watch. We're under a tornado watch right now. All right. If it becomes a warning and we all have to go to the basement, we'll know we didn't behave. So that's my weather analogy to this. And I think a lot of you, what I'm seeing on social media, are frustrated with, the focus being on restaurants and bars, is that sports are happening for kids in school. And those are groups bigger than 10. And why is that okay? I'm seeing a lot of those kinds of questions. Mm-hmm. So, it's hard, but I do agree that this is the watch, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I see a number of people chiming in. I think someone's saying that she works at the BMV and they always have over 6. That's Antoinette. Well, I work for the BMV. We always have more than 6 people, and it's always an open door. I'm sure I get it there before getting it from my family. Now, we talked about the violations. Dave, you mentioned how they were going to enforce it. It's 7:18, so we need to close, but I do want to close with this. From Lena's package or her story yesterday that she covered, Lena said, as for curfew violations, it's a 2nd-degree misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. So keep in mind, yes, you can still go outside past 10 p.m. to walk your dog or go to work, but the idea is to have less people out to slow the spread. So again, please continue to comment. Yes, so they can enforce it, and it will cost you $750 if you are fined. Ooh, and I don't want anybody to be hit with that, especially around the holidays. Continue to comment.
Follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Go to bed at 10:01.
Next 21 days. So we shall see you tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. until 7. And you can catch Dave, Maureen, and Holly during the Today Show. Have a great Wednesday.